right. All right. I am tired today. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did the other. Let's save. Well, I guess I already kind of altered the thumbnail, but whatever. Whatever! Don't matter. Okay, what am I doing here? Color. Color. What do we want for a base color on this? I don't know what I want for the color palette in general. Oops. Do I want to go? I want kind of like evening kind of light, so maybe for a base color, something like that. Oh, too dark. Too dark. Still a little too much. Maybe we'll warm it up a little. Do something like that. It's not bad for a base. Let's see. Somewhere in between. Boom. Boom. I think. No. We need a little more. Oh, cat is going crazy. There. A little more color and saturation in it. Shit. Who knew this would be this difficult to decide on a damn color? Well, that's not interesting. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out also how this works, because when I went darker, it like didn't see, like it doesn't really recolor the shadows all that much. But if I go just a little lighter, it seems to do a bit more. Or maybe it's like saturation? Interesting. And I feel like I want the shadows lighter, but I don't want them too light. All right. Fine. We want it there. That'll take some of the weight out of the shadows. All right. All right. Cool. Yo, Cosmonaut and Shadowwalk. Hello. Yep. The Twipples. All right. All right. I know it has been a bit. I'm doing well. I'm just kind of trying to think about where I want to go with this piece. I didn't really think about a color palette on the thumbnail, but which seems to kind of be my MO lately. I'm just like, I don't know, I'll figure it out later. But that's okay. That's okay. I do know, unlike that Raven one, I do know that I want like a light sky, that kind of just after the sun has dipped below the horizon, you know, but you still have a lot of light in the sky. That's what I want. So I'll have to get some kind of yellow down there, I think. Or yellowish green, maybe. You're very welcome. That might actually be a little too... might be a little too cool, actually. Yeah. How's everyone on this fine Tuesday? It's Tuesday, right? I don't know why. All day today, I kept thinking it was Wednesday. I don't know why. I feel like I want some heat in that sky. Not like a lot, but let's just find something it'll give us some simultaneous contrast. Same value, more or less. Maybe I'll take the, because I have a color dynamics on this brush, so I'm gonna take the color dynamics off. Otherwise, it's a little hard to get specific on colors with that. I just want some more color play in the sky. I don't want it to be too perfect. Cool. Lurk away. Lurk away. Yes, Martest, I have appeared. I am here. So I'm this one is very, very much inspired by Bouguereau's Evening Mood and Aurora, like those two paintings, like two of my favorites. And the purple is really just kind of a base thing to get rid of the more like greenish black ink stuff, right? That, which doesn't make for a very clean base of color. So that's all that purple is for. I don't know, part of me wants to change that a little bit though. I feel like on this one, something like a little more toward the red, but cooler still might be better. I'm just thinking like if any of this color is gonna show through, the luminosity that it might give, right? That's what I'm thinking. Ravawak, thanks for the follow. So I was looking at different artworks of like Undines, you know, of water spirits, water elementals. And there was a particular one that was a fountain, although it was mostly just a robed woman kind of, but it had a very cool vibe to it. I don't remember the name of the fountain or who the sculptor was, but it was a cool fountain. And then it, I don't know, kind of got me thinking, and then I started doing something which sort of felt very Bouguereau, so I was like, all right, well, let's just embrace that, because Bouguereau was a badass, so I don't mind stealing from him a little bit. Let's maybe get some, whoops, wrong layer. Oh, way too dark, clouds or something off on the horizon, maybe just a little more. I don't know if I want, maybe I might actually lend to the luminosity a little bit if I get some clouds. One thing, Undines were freshwater spirits specifically, so that will kind of determine the color of the water a bit, you know. It's so fun to do like a nice aqua blue kind of water, you know. Makes me think of the tropics and stuff, but if we're thinking freshwater, I mean, I've only been in a few different rivers in different parts of the world, but they were all greenish. All looked pretty similar in that regard. So I'm probably still, I'll run with something like that. Joe the Saint, hello. Oh, that's cool. I probably started, I tend to start like right about when he's ending. So I feel like he doesn't always have time to Yeah. Raid me. Though, I mean, obviously, we all know he does from time to time, which is fun. Shane is fantastic. What was he talking about today? Oh, crazy! Escaping. Oh, as Germany, as their regime was falling, escaping to like South America and shit. All right, all right. Water. Yeah. Those crazy bastards. I also didn't have a clear idea of what kind of plants would be on the shore, like behind her. I mean, I love the lilies in Bugro's Aurora painting, but I don't want to like directly rip them off. So I may have to just indicate something and then look around for some fun-looking water plants. I'm just thinking of the darks that I want. Let's just get our basic color stuff going here. Let's see. So what we'll do, we'll get the darks in there, and then we'll paint in some light, some of that transillumination and all that stuff. Subsurface scattering for those in the 3D world. I have not read Sandman. We were talking about that last stream, actually. Was that you that had brought it up? I think you said you had just read some or something. Somebody had said that, but no, I have not. I think I've flipped through some of it, but I never actually like sat down and read it. I know last stream I was saying like I really should read some Neil Gaiman, because I know he's very well respected. And I really just don't know his stuff. Like, I'm not familiar enough with it to know. All right, so there's something as I'm getting into, I think because it's not, I'm debating if I want to deal with this now or worry about it later. No, let's do it now. I need to darken that whole central lockup because it's making it feel like a bright sunny day right now, and it's not the light that I want. So. Yeah, Sunday night, we were painting up this one. So, and I forget how we got on the topic, but someone had brought up some Neil Gaiman stuff. Wasn't in direct response to this, but we were talking about some other stuff. So, yeah. And we're going the other way this time and doing a lighter composition. All right, let's see. You gotta. Is that too dark? Maybe a little. Maybe. Basically, because she doesn't have a direct light source on her, right? So I'm gonna kind of lean pretty heavily into that like realism, that kind of naturalist sort of thing that Bouguereau did. He was like specifically the French realism, but natural light sources, right? So rarely a direct heavy light source, unless it was sunlight. And Sister Delirium in the same pose as Arthur Rackham's Undine. Which one? Which Rackham Undine? I think he did a couple, didn't he? Okay, that was the one I was thinking of. Okay. Cool. Cool. I always wonder why he gave her such like a creepy face. You know, the other thing I didn't think about, though, with this? Well, I guess I was going to say river water or fresh water doesn't really foam that much, but it can. Sometimes it does. It doesn't foam as much as seawater does, but it can foam. I've seen it at, like, the base of waterfalls and things. So we can probably still get some foam in there, right? Hang on, guys. stupid. Hang on, guys. Stupid client asks. I'm just muting the mic for a minute. And this is what happens when they drop random deadlines on us midday saying, hey, can we get this end of day today? And then there are all these questions. And it's like, look, we were not prepared to have to deal with this shit yet. What are you going to do? Yo, Autumn. What's up, dude? Not you. No, it was for the thing that John is working on. All of a sudden they're like, hey, can we send that, like, revision for one of the frames today? And I was just like, what are you talking about? No, we did not agree to do that, but apparently they did agree, just no one told me that that was part of the plan. Like, cool, that's awesome. Even though we had a whole production meeting this morning, nobody mentioned an end of day deadline today. Thanks, guys. And now they have all these specific questions, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what you get. There we we go. That's getting a little better. I may actually have to cool that off again. Interesting. Feeling like the warmth might work against me with all that water. But that's cool. We can, you know, cool that off a little bit. There we go. There we go. That looks better. We're working on a Sandman show. Yeah, someone mentioned, I think is it a Netflix thing? The Sandman show? I think on Sundays somebody had mentioned that. Sorry guys, I just got to make sure this is all taken care of. I'm really gonna have to figure out what the hell those, what kind of plants I'm putting back there, because I really didn't consider that. I was just like, oh, foliage, whee. Right. Oops. Oh, maybe we did. Yeah, because I could have sworn you were there. But I'm like, yeah, no, we talked about this on Sunday. All right. Let's do this. I was already getting some nice light. And let's... It's okay, Autumn. None of us know anything about it. That's not true. I'm just looking up river foam. I know it's usually so gross that I don't think I really want to base it on that. River foam usually is just like greenish and brown and just not as pretty as sea foam. So I may not really go too heavily off of that. But yeah, we're not going to go off of river foam. That shit just looks like someone spit in the water or something. I haven't yet. I have not gotten into Misfits yet. But it is on my list. I go in and out. I don't always sit down and watch stuff is the thing. Oftentimes I will put on things that I've seen already because if I'm working, you know, I don't want to have to try and focus on like a brand new show. And then at night, usually I'm just trying to get my own stuff done. But yeah, it is on my Netflix watch list, right? It's on Netflix? Or was it on Hulu? One of those. I put it on my watch list. Yeah, alright. Sorry, River Foam, you're kind of gross and unappealing, so we're not going off of you. Okay. Hulu. Alright, let's hang on. Get rid of some of these areas that no. There. Actually, I feel like we can probably grab that as a color. Maybe we'll cool it off a little bit more. I want to take some of the heat, the warmth out of the water, at least out of the foam. I'm going to get that green in there pretty soon. Because that will inform the lighting on her quite a bit, right? I mean, it's all ambient light in this case because I want it to be where the sun has like just dropped down, so there is no direct sunlight anywhere, but there's enough light that will get some, you know, with that bright sky behind her, we'll get some refraction in the water and stuff. But I don't want to go too crazy on the foam since it's not seawater, it is river water. I wasn't quite thinking about that when I did the thumbnail. That you can get some, but you won't get a whole lot. Yeah. There are some shows that really like have kept quality going, but usually is there any show that Netflix has done that has like been going for several seasons? Hulu has done some good shows, right? Handmaid's Tale is Hulu, isn't it? And I know that one's still pretty damn good. Yeah, Netflix tends to kind of not be that great. Now, I have liked some of the shows that they've done where they picked them up and kept them going. But they still do wrap them up, right? I think The Killing, they only did, one final season or half a season or something to wrap that one up? I think. Or maybe they did one season. I forget. And then Longmire, they picked that one up and wrapped it up. But again, like I think that had already been running for a few seasons, and then they picked it up and maybe did a final season or something. I don't remember. But yeah, like, you know, I do feel most shows are just better off when you do like 4 to 6 seasons, you know? I really, really wish they could have done like one more season on Black Sails, because I just feel like those 4 seasons were just not quite enough, right? It was 4? It wasn't just 3. It was 4 seasons. And I just, every time I watch Black Sails, I end up going through the whole thing and then usually watching seasons 1 and 2 again afterward, because I'm like, it's just not quite enough. I really, really would have loved them to do like a Treasure Island spinoff, or continuation, basically. It would have been pretty rad. And they still could. They still could. Because Treasure Island, you know, would have taken place some years after Black Sails. So, technically, there's no reason they couldn't even, like, in a couple years, fire up some Treasure Island fun. Right. The water that's like kind of coming from her palm, I'm gonna probably treat it just a little different than the rest of it, just to make something special about it. I don't know exactly what I'll do. Maybe it'll be glowing more or something, like an internal glow kind of a deal. Perhaps. But yeah, there have been, there have been some shows that I think they did, not Netflix, but in general, that were done really well from beginning to end. I think Bosch was awesome. I really liked how they wrapped up Justified. Battlestar Galactica was a good length. I'm glad it didn't go longer than it did, even though I would have, I would have probably still watched more of it. But I think they were smart to not just run it into the ground. That was good. All right, let's get some water. Probably have to paint around a bit on this to find the feeling that I want for this water. Get some color variations in there, and that river water actually ends up going pretty warm depending on kind of obviously the sediment and stuff that's underneath it, but whoa, so you only watched season 1 of Black Sails? It's like, it gets better and better as it goes. Season 1, to me, season 1 was just like kind of fun and sort of like just slightly campy in a lot of parts. I think they I feel like in season 1 they didn't quite realize what they had, and they were going for a bit more of just the like fun piratey adventure tone. And then I feel like after that they realized they had something potentially much more powerful on their hands, and I feel like they took it a lot more serious after season 1, and it gets really good. Like some of those character arcs are just like, they're so good, so good. So I would highly encourage you to watch past season 1. Even though I love season 1, but it just gets better as it goes. So I don't want to say season 1 is the worst season, because it makes it sound like it's bad, and it's totally not bad. But it's not as good as 2, and 2 isn't as good as 3, and 3 is not as good as 4. So, yeah. I encourage you. I'm trying to decide what. I want the water to be a bit more green from the light, but there's a different feel. We might push it a little cool, just to kind of give it a nice kind of pretty color, and not go too like gross river water. You know, I feel like a river spirit, a river or a water spirit elemental wouldn't be living in really gross river water. Like the LA River Spirit or something. Gross. Aw, poor sad LA River. I know, that poor river spirit and Spirited Away. No, hi Nixlotl, hello, welcome. Yeah, Black Sails ran for 4 seasons, and they ended it. Like, it had a legit ending. So, yeah, it wasn't, it didn't end on a cliffhanger. Deadwood just kind of ended. Not mid-season, but they ended that one after season 3, and at the end of season 3, everyone thought they were coming back for season 4, and in the break, or at the very end of season 3, I forget when, I think they told David Milch, like, when they were filming the last episode or something, that they weren't going to be coming back for season 4. Something like that. So it just kind of like ends without a real ending, which is really too bad. And then the movie was just, whatever. I thought it was really half-assed on HBO's part. It's maybe a little too yellow. It's a little too yellow. Why do a lot of Ian McShane's things get canceled? I feel like I haven't really seen him in much. Deadwood was like my introduction to him, and of course, like he's just the fucking best part in that. And I was so excited for him to be Blackbeard, and then that performance just kind of was so boring. I was like, really, Ian? Better than this, man. I do like him in what's the one he's in where he plays Zeus? It's kind of a dumb show, although isn't that a Neil Gaiman thing? Show isn't great, but I always like, well, I can't say always because I didn't like him as Blackbeard, but I usually like Ian McShane a lot. Huh. I should check out more of his stuff because I really like his stuff, his work. He's badass for sure. I feel like I'm gonna have to figure out how the hell to look up reference for some of this stuff because I've got some pretty specific lighting scenarios, and I'm not quite sure how the reflection and stuff would work in the water. But we'll see. We'll get there. I've got plenty to work on without necessarily worrying about that just yet. And I can say I've definitely never painted something like this in oils. So if I decide to do this as an oil painting, which I'm kind of thinking about, it'll be a very interesting challenge. I'm so used to working with very muted colors now in oils, so it'll be different to maybe get into some much more saturated colors. It'll be fun. Let's cool that off more. Not quite that much. Mostly right now I'm just trying to get, you know, the right feeling for this stuff. Though I do need to consider that if there's ambient light happening, I'm gonna need to probably hit some of that a little harder with some light. Maybe that's where we can kind of warm it up, but keep it pretty desat. I feel like, though maybe I don't, I think that's a little too much. Too much. Because I can also take liberties, right? I don't need to be like, how can I make this look perfectly photoreal? Because we are not in the photorealism game. We are in the create a mood and tell a story game. Who knows, maybe we'll get some like crazy refraction happening, like somehow it is catching the last bit of sun or something. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I also don't want it to look like a highlight, right? But I don't mind that. I don't mind that. All right, let's get some color on her. And that, I kind of want the, want it to sort of feel like the water is maybe turning into her drapery a bit. So I think I do want it to be more like green. Let's go a little darker. Noir Fineste. Thanks for the follow. Let's see here. Thanks, Shadowwalk. Yeah, it's fun stuff to play with, I have to say. You remember that 360 mermaid piece I had done? I remember starting to kind of play with some of that in there. And then I think I'd done it on that dragon, that Elder Gods piece, if I remember. I may not have. I may have had the light too far down. But let's see. And up to you. Yeah, no, I guess I had it more catching the kind of more the foam, like the top of it in that one. Right, in the Elder Gods piece, I had it more just catching, because technically the dragon's body is blocking a lot of it from the light, so yeah. Yule. Might go just a little. Just a little brighter in some spots, right? Toward the top. Cool. And then one thing I'm not totally sure about is if I want... Do I want the cloth to feel wet? It seems kind of strange if it's like formed out of water. I don't know why it feels weird to have the cloth feel wet to me. So I think I'm not gonna do that. Cool. Yeah, I love, like, I don't know why it's so fun to kind of play with that illumination, but it is. I mean, I guess it's kind of similar to, you know, playing with like the sheer cloth, right? Any kind of, whether it's lace or something else, tulle kind of stuff. Sorry, obviously my head is very much in like trying to figure out, you know, it's always a little tricky if you're making this shit up out of your head. Like trying to figure out what kinds of shapes I want this to take, you know, which largely has to do with what kind of cloth I want it to be. don't know if they're... I feel like that is very subjective. I mean, technically, you will have more than 3 vanishing points because if you're talking about organic layout, I mean, whatever that is. For each angle of parallel lines. I guess, what kind of organic drawing are you talking about? Because it doesn't seem like that's something that you're gonna want to plot out with vanishing points. Like if you're dealing with trees and stuff, you're not gonna plot out, you're not gonna put a vanishing point for every single tree because trees are not shaped that way. And I can't imagine you want to put vanishing points for every single part of the figure either, because that is just gonna make everything really stiff and honestly kind of boring. So I guess it's kind of weird to me to put vanishing points on anything outside of like very structural kinds of things. That versus... Okay. I guess not what I would call organic drawings. Those are all both very, very structural. But yes, you're gonna need vanishing points for each item because it's not laid out on a grid, right? Unless you're doing a city. But I wouldn't call those organic because you're still talking about boxes at the end of the day. So not really organic. But yeah, I mean, even within, you know, like if you were to say take, especially some of the older cities that kind of grew organically, where they were not built on a grid, right? You had cobblestone streets that just kind of wind around, and like every single building is in its own perspective, as opposed to the modern cities where, yeah, it's all just 90-degree angles. Right. And that's, I mean, that's where personally, I still wouldn't plot it all out. At a certain point, I'm just like, nope. If I can't get away with like a 2 or 3 point perspective, then I'm just eyeballing it. I have no desire to plot all that out. I never have. Like that just will kill the desire to draw for me. So I instead preferred to hone my eye rather than plotting stuff. I had friends that loved to plot everything out. They loved the kind of like, you know, super perfect kind of anal nature of like perfect perspective, and I'm just like, nope, no thanks. Can't do it. I mean, I can do it, but no desire to do it. Eyeballing is just so much easier. Wait, you're gonna put your dog in a walk? Yeah, I mean, I can understand, Nixolotl. I get what you mean when you say organic. It just, when you had first said it, I pictured actual organic structures. But I get when you're talking about something that compositionally is essentially more chaotic, right? Or more, as you say, more organic in terms of layout, rather than the actual elements that you're dealing with, right? Yeah, I think that's kind of part of it, though, is you learn 1, 2, and 3 point perspective, and then past that, you're getting into, like, with a couple exceptions, it becomes a little unnecessary to plot everything out personally, or so precisely. Because, like, unless you're doing something that needs to be built, right? That needs to be built in, like, 3D in some way. Usually you would do more of an elevation plan for that anyway, rather than putting it in perspective. But it depends on the kind of illustration you want to do too, right? Like, say you really wanted to do kind of more of the old school architectural illustrations, then you would want to kind of have an eye and develop your eye for solid perspective, right? And which would involve more than 3 vanishing points, because you would be dealing with all kinds of elements at various angles. So and while I do love oh, that's why. It's like, why am I not catching that? I do love old architectural illustrations. No desire to do those. But I love looking at them. Just trying to get some of these shapes right. I think, here's what I did some stuff a little bit wrong. I don't want this water coming out, like, right where the water meets the shoreline. All right, I want that to dip down further. So let's cut into this so that we can rework that shape. But I will also say that I kind of always had a pretty good eye for perspective. So I think eyeballing it was never, like, that much of a challenge for me. Every now and then I'll still like to check something if I feel like something's off, but I can't quite pinpoint it. Then sometimes I'll run some perspective lines to see if maybe that's part of it. And sometimes I'm amazed how far off I was. And then other times I'm like, oh, look at that. Dead on. First try. Oh man, it was like frustrating and inspiring when our teacher, the late great Gary Meyer, would do like these awesome gouache paintings on the chalkboard for his demos, right? Like 3-point city in perspective, with like reflections in the windows, and he would just knock them out in like 2 hours or something. Big gouache paintings on the chalkboard. It's like, dude, and he would check he would like kind of just freehand something, and then he'd be like, well, let's check that, and then every time he was like, oh, look at that, dead on. It's like, you bastard. So good. Oh, Gary. He died, was it earlier this year, I think. It's crazy. He like retired from teaching, and I think he passed away within, I mean, my guess is he retired from teaching because he was ill. I have to imagine, because he passed away within like 2 or 3 weeks of retiring, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was old. I mean, he was late 80s, I think. And he was teaching right up until the end. It was crazy. He was a great guy, though. And it was, you know, sad to lose him. But at least it wasn't one of those where it was like unexpected, you know. Because I know we lost some artists in the last few years that I think people were not expecting to lose. Also, Oz Inc., sorry, I saw your previous comment, and thank you. I'm glad you're digging it. I think I'm going to get into her skin tone a little bit just to start to, you know, wrangle this color palette together. Painting that good old alabaster skin that is always such a challenge. I don't know why. There's some, it's like, you know, if you paint like usually redheads that have fair skin, their skin goes like rather pink, but oftentimes when you get brunettes that have very fair skin, you'll often get that more kind of alabaster, which has a lot more cools in it. So it'll be kind of interesting. Let's see. I doubt I have. I didn't really take the time to look for good reference for this kind of lighting scenario. I mean, obviously I can look at like a Bouguereau painting, but you know, you have to be careful. Then it becomes kind of a copy of a copy in a way. So maybe I'll just, I don't know, do something that at least gets me most of the way there, and then I can always let's see if we may need to actually cool this off even more underneath. I don't want to do it too much because then it just looks weird. I like having some of that heat coming through, I think. It's just in the foam is a little too warm, so I may just need to paint that in. All right. Let's go a little cooler, get a little more cool in that foam. A little too hot. Too hot. Remember when I used to sketch at this coffee shop that is no longer around. I mean, it's still a coffee shop. It's not the same coffee shop. The coffee is better now, though. But I remember this is back when I was freelance, so I could like sometimes go there and actually get work done at the coffee shop, which I used to love to do. But I remember seeing this. There was this like a young. I guess at first she was a soon-to-be mom. Then later she was an actual mom. But she had like dark brown hair, and she just had like this perfectly flawless like alabaster skin, and she must have caked on the sunscreen because, you know, Los Angeles gets damn hot in the summer, and she would just like, she looked like she jogged every day. And I'm just like, damn, how do you like, that's crazy. How do you do that? But it was like her skin almost seemed fake in a way. It was just so like perfect. I remember them saying that about Liv Tyler's skin in Lord of the Rings. How they were like, they're just like, yeah, we hardly had to do any makeup on her because her skin was just absolutely perfect. It's like, damn. In Miami, no, so oh. Yeah, see, and that's the crazy thing, right? When you have really fair skin, if you get a lot of sun, you end up getting freckles. So I'm always surprised when I see someone that lives somewhere that gets a lot of sun, like here in Los Angeles, and they have like flawless pale skin, which basically means at least their parents had the wherewithal to make sure that they wore sunscreen all the time, as from the time they were a kid. Granted, there is nothing wrong with freckles. Freckles are damn cute. So I say that as someone that is half Indian, so freckles are not part of my life. So I know it's easy for me to say freckles are super cute because I know my girlfriend is not a fan of freckles. Sorry, I'm trying to get some, just a hint of some skylight coming down on whatever the shoreline is. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe we just have the plants kind of... I think the plants maybe should come right down into the water and create a more organic line there. Because I feel like if I get it too perfect, it's going to be kind of weird. All right, screw it. Screw it. Get a... break that up a bit and see what that gets us. Though I did like the little water line, but I feel like that's not going to do us much good. I think I want this place to feel a little more wild, so we'll see. Obviously it'll help so I figure out what the hell kind of plants I'm gonna put there. Anyway, all right, her skin. Let's get into it. Nice, yeah. And yeah, freckles are not easy to paint in, right? It's really easy to make them look like the person just has dirt on their face, you know, when you're painting them. Because I think a lot of times our inclination is to go a little too dark on them. And they're oftentimes a bit lighter than we might think. All right. Shadows first. There's a lot going on though. Man, with that really light skin, it just picks up color from everywhere. So I don't actually know what the hell these shadows would look like. I have a feeling they wouldn't be too far off from whatever the foam is. Might go a tiny bit warmer and just a little darker, at least to start, and we'll see. I'm gonna have to add variety to the shadows as they'll pick up different reflected lights and whatnot, but at least as a place to start, right? There will obviously need to be some warmth in the skin. Well, I mean, I say that, but we're also painting a water elemental, so technically the skin can be any color I want. But, you know, we can zoom in a bit on this since why not? I tend to keep things zoomed out pretty far while I'm just trying to block everything in, because otherwise I will get caught up in details that don't really matter yet, but it's cool. Finessing silhouette and stuff. It's a good thing. It's necessary. It's fine. No biggie. All right. Getting sidetracked there. And this is a tricky one when we're thinking about this kind of ambient light, because there's no real shadows for me to hide behind. So I gotta kind of just sort of show everything. Granted, I knew that when I was plotting this one out, and I figured it'll be a kind of an exercise in rendering a bit, which I don't do a lot of in oils, but I feel like it'll be kind of a fun exercise. Because I don't really like feeling like I'm not very good at something. Like, I always feel like when I render more in oils, it just gets kind of dead. So some part of this will be figuring out, like, how do I render, like specifically me, how do I do it in oils that keeps it alive? I think actually, I don't know. I don't really have an answer, but I feel more confident about it than I have in the past. So there's that. And then we'll need to warm up her skin a bit from here. Probably mostly just in the mid-tones, though. All right. Let's see. Is that too... a little too light, maybe? And this is why it will often take longer if you want to do stuff out of your head, because, you know, there is a lot of just kind of painting around and trying to find the right combination. Which can be a little tricky. Granted, you also have to kind of keep that sort of long game in mind, knowing that you'll come back in and add more color variation and all that stuff. So this is just kind of obviously getting a very basic. If I was doing this in oils, I would probably be a bit more conscious in terms of, like, I would specifically change things like this, and get more, you know, choose where I want something to be more red, more yellow, cooler, warmer, with digital, I'm kind of more right now just thinking, all right, first let me just get the darks and lights, especially because they're more subtle, right? There will be a couple areas where we will get some accent shadows, but not a lot. Not a lot. No, they are not. We are censoring. They are twipples. We are not allowed to show nip on Twitch. Well, specifically female nipples, which still infuriates me that they specify that. But whatever. We won't go on that rant today. Skin is too warm, so we're definitely gonna be cooling some of this stuff off. But similar to oil paint, because I have the wet mix option on the brush, it just actually helps to have paint laid down, because it acts differently when I have something to mix into. When I have that wet mix turned on, versus if I'm just painting over essentially empty pixels in that layer, then it doesn't really act the same. But so right now I just want to get paint on the canvas, so to speak. Similar to what I would do with real paint. Maybe it's because this is actually a little too cool, I think. Right? And I mean, we've talked about this where there are different ways to cool things off, and it doesn't always have to go to blue. And I think I went a little too blue with it. Of course, now anything else I put there is just going to look really warm. But I think but that's okay. It's okay if it looks a little warm for a minute, I guess. All right, let's swap out that blue. I mean, we'll get some greens and stuff from the, because we have all that light coming in through the water. So we'll need to get, some of this stuff kind of blending into some of these with that reflected light, right? Alright, maybe we just start kind of painting up her face and just start finishing out as we go. Sometimes it's easier to just focus on an area and understand the range that we're painting in. Sometimes, not always. It doesn't always work out. then other times it's also just amazing how muted or how gray we can go and still have it feel like there's some color. Like, I'm always amazed how much gray Joseph Spuckfitch gets away with. It's pretty insane. He gets where he'll just like nudge a gray around. I think that's why I think is Daniel Smith has 3 different Joseph Spuckfitch grays. Like, I think they're Joseph Z, like a warm gray, a neutral gray, and a cool gray, or something like that, that he helped formulate. Thank you, Shadow Walk. All right, Nixolotl, I hope you sleep well. And thank you, Stephzer. Steph, is that Steph Senior? Don Lee, hello and welcome. How are you doing? I'm trying to get the right feel in her skin. Which I think I'm on the right track. I don't actually have enough color happening yet. So we'll get there. We will get there. And I think I'm gonna have to play around also with maybe some of the shadows up top being a little warmer. And maybe they get cooler as they move down the form and are picking up more reflection from the water and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's we'll see where this takes us. Interesting how green that looks when it's a, a desaturated orange. But maybe we keep that and see where it takes us. And then, of course, what color hair? I mean, dark hair, but like black or just like a dark brown? Yeah, we'll try dark brown first. And that cool light might go. Well, I'm glad, Shadowwalk. And yeah, Don Lee, I'm all about the branded censorship. People should know who it is refusing to free the nipple. One of the things I often forget is how much a lot of this has to do with just color being relative, right? In terms of something feeling warmer or cooler just based on what it's next to. Sometimes forget how much that comes into play. Yeah, I actually, so because I was kind of like looking at Bouguereau and stuff, I was like, you know what, I want to do a little more of that kind of classic body, you know? Just because I know I don't tend to do that, but I feel like most of the female figures I draw and paint tend to be more of the warrior variety in some way. And so it makes sense that they might be a bit more cut. But she is not that. She is a water spirit, and thus I don't really think... One, I don't think she needs to work out. Two, she just is not that type of figure, right? Right? bit lighter, maybe. Lighter. Get a sense of light, right? When you paint the nostrils and stuff, get a little bit of that kind of illumination in there, and even in the lips, we can get some little hot accents to get some light kind of playing around there. Start to paint out some of these lines so that we can see a bit more clearly kind of what is happening here. That's the funny thing, I don't actually have like a ready technique for rendering, so I always have to kind of like go back and forth a little bit, because I just don't tend to render a whole lot. Trying to decide how much detail I actually want to put, because even though I'm not going to go heavy on the shadows, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to put a ton of detail in them, right? We can kind of pick and choose that stuff if we want to, and I'm not quite sure how much I want to put in. We will find out. This one's going to be a challenge too with the painting because of my tendency to just go like really light with stuff. It's going to be a tough one. Like not getting too light, you know, where I still want color in there. But I do feel like she still needs to go pretty light. This is gonna be a challenge, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm also kind of going back and forth in terms of what kind of body she should have. I mean, because there are different, kind of some different shapes I could choose from, so to speak. Naturally, this would be so much easier if I had actual reference, but oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I think this playlist is not. I think this playlist is just a huge mix of who knows what. So you're gonna get all kinds of different vibes on here. something that's kind of feeling... I think I still need to get some more like color variation or something in her skin, because it's feeling flat. And I need to get... I mean, that's granted, that's the whole part of rendering, right? Is just like slowly kind of building up that sense of form and stuff. It does not just happen immediately. I feel like there are ways to speed that stuff up a little bit, but you can't really rush it. So, I mean, I gotta still like turn some different forms here, and let's see. I feel like I'm still gonna need to warm up some of these shadows a little bit, just to give the cool in the skin more of a sense of cool. Let's see. Especially because I think I want the cool in the skin to be more in the lights. And so, by that rationale, usually that will mean slightly warmer shadows. Raid! Raid! Ugh! McCaig. Welcome, and thank you for that. I do really need to stretch. Oh, hello, my friends. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Here, this is what we're working on. I'm gonna stretch a little bit and give you a little bit of the intro. Oh. Thank you. Is it Kay McCaig? McCaig? For those who don't know me, I am McCaig. My name is Daniel Landerman. I am an illustrator and sketch artist in entertainment advertising, helping to create key art for film, TV, and video games. That's my day job. Outside of the day job, I kind of just, I like to create worlds and visions of wonder and whatnot. Couple of things we've done on stream recently. Working on this one right now, obviously. We did this on Sunday. It still needs some work. I want to get some more modeling in those wings, like not rendering, but get more of a sense of space, right? Receding back. We did that a little while back on stream. We have done this one on stream as well. And many others. Many others. What else have we done? We have done, we One day I might actually finish this one. It's close. I don't need to do too much more on it, but at the same time, there's a lot more to do on it. But I'll get there. But I do like how that statue turned out. We worked on... Hello? Ugh. Hang on. Procreate's being a punk. Alright. Alright. What else did we do? We worked on her on stream. Twipples and all. Yeah. We've done a bunch. We've done a bunch. Anyway. K McKeg. Morrigan, no. Who's Morrigan? I know she's from a video game, but I'm not really much of a gamer anymore. Mostly just because I don't have time. I kind of miss gaming, but I haven't done it in a long time. Anyway, K McKeg, what did you do on your stream? Are you an art streamer? I'm assuming you're an art streamer, but I don't know. Okay, I think I was thinking the Dragon Age character, but no. I didn't realize she was an actual Celtic goddess. Huh. Huh. Oh, right on. Do you want to... So, K McKeg, do you want to share with us what you did on stream? You're welcome to post a link to it if you would like. These are just some other things we've done. Many of these actually have been on stream. I'm afraid to keep going because I don't know what else I'm going to show. That maybe I shouldn't. Like that. Boobies. Whatever. Whatevs. I think we did this one on stream, didn't we? Or did we? No, we didn't. I did this. I think Autumn was streaming and I was watching his stream and I was doodling. Anyway. I don't know why it started doing this, Procreate. You're being a fucking asshole. Anyway. Back to it. Yeah, please. Even if it's a work in progress, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. I'm currently trying to figure out how I want to paint this like alabaster skin. Whoops. And it's just like feeling too flat to me right now, so I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna have to kind of keep trying stuff out until I figure unlock the secret. I should probably just open up, like, look at a bunch of paintings that have achieved the look I want very well and try and figure out what it is they did. I mean, it's early, obviously. We're only, what, like 2 hours and 20 minutes into this, so it's not like it needs to be finished right now or anything, but two-headed Dragonborn character commission. Cool. Oh, nice. Right on. That nice, clean line work. Hell yeah. Man, I cannot remember the last time I tried doing a two-headed character. I know I've drawn a couple of like multi-headed dragons in the past, but not like a character, a humanoid character. That's cool. Looks great, dude. Looks great. Oh, right on, Gray Angel. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of ravens, so I just like to. I don't know why. I just end up doing a lot of stuff that has like witches and ravens. I enjoy doing that stuff. It's fun. No particular reason other than that. I just love ravens. So. No problem, McKeg. I totally understand that. While you're here, let me. I'm gonna give you a follow. I'm gonna give you a follow there on the old Twitch. There. Yeah, please. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for bringing your fam over, your Twitch fam. I appreciate it. We need to address some of this foam. I'm trying to decide like how much information I really want it to have. You know, like those oil painters that just paint that amazing sea foam where you're just like, holy crap, it like feels like sea foam, but I don't want to get like too crazy into it. I'm definitely gonna have to find a balance on this piece between like what is enough rendering and then what just starts getting into too much, right? Because again, I'm not trying to make it look like a photo or anything like that. Like I still want the shapes to be designed and have all that fun stuff that we love so much in art. I'm just trying to take some of that warmth still out of the foam and the water because it's still too hot, too warm. And I feel like it's skewing how her skin feels with all that warmth around her that should not be competing. Sariana, what's up? How you doing? Thanks, Kate. I appreciate the follows. You have a great night as well. And B, hello. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, she's still very much a work in progress. I'm trying to figure out the right colors for her skin. Because I want that like really kind of alabaster kind of skin tone, but I have all these other colors going on around her that I felt were distracting me a little bit. So I'm just trying to take the heat out of the foam in the water because it was still going too purple because of the under drawing, which I skewed very warm. You can see in that thumbnail there. Do this. Actually, no. Let's bring this one over there. Oh wait. Now let's turn the whole thing off, and then people would have seen nipple. So yeah, that was it with the warmth. The original thumbnail was just black ink and gouache, white gouache. So I hadn't really thought about colors. And thank you, Gray Angel. I appreciate the follow. Follow on the good old Insta. All for the gram, right? What are we without the gram, as we tried to figure out the other day? What was even the purpose of life when Instagram and Facebook were down for the count? What's funny is I didn't even know they were down. My brother told me, and which is weird because normally, yeah, I check Instagram in the morning and stuff, but I think I just jumped right into work and had just gotten really sidetracked with stuff there, and so I literally I had no idea that everything was down. And I think it was also because I just figured oh, whatever, my phone's fucking up and not loading Instagram properly, which is probably why then I just put my phone down. I was like, whatever, I have shit to do. And I don't check Facebook regularly, so I pretty much only check it if someone actually sends me a message on Facebook. There we go. That's better. See, now her skin actually feels warmer, which gives me more room to play with the cool, because that was it's kind of fucking me up a little bit. It's funny though, because Shadow Walk, when it comes to just blocking colors in and stuff, I can work very quickly, but then what's funny is how long the rest of it can take after that. It can take just as long or longer once you get into kind of really finessing and refining details and all that stuff. That's always an interesting process to go through, It's fun though. It's a lot of fun. So this is where maybe some of these shadows are a little too warm. And I already knew I was going to bring some more cools into the light side because I want to start reflecting some of that cool skylight into any of the planes that start to face more toward the sky. I will introduce some of the cooler colors into those lights. I'm just trying to, and I think that'll help to kind of wrangle her skin more to where I want it to be. But I do want a variety, so I don't want it all to be just cool and whatnot, right? Because our skin really changes as it moves around our figure, Vextasy, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Also, How I Disappear, thank you for the follow. And Gray Angel, I did not thank you for your follow. But thank you. Alright, let's... And this is where I feel like I can get... probably, like... legitimately cool. Because the skin... that, like, really fair skin will... actually reflect the light, right? And the colors around it. Feel like we can actually get some legit cools in here that I think will start to sit her a little more properly in this space. Oh, thanks, Vaxusy. Yeah, I hope you can catch more too. I've been not terribly regular with my streams lately, but you know, trying. You should. Your best bet. I mean, unless you want to just kind of like keep an eye out and hope for the best. Your best bet would be to join the Discord. Just so that, because I announce when I'm going live on the Discord. And I know that Twitch can get a little twitchy with its notifications. Though I don't tend to have issues with notifications. I don't really feel like... actually, no, that's not true. There have been times lately where I'll get a notification that someone went live, and then it turns out it was like they've been on for like an hour. I'm like, oh, damn it. I would have liked to have caught them from the beginning. So yeah, if nothing else, just for the notifications. The hell? The hell? I gotta finesse some of these shapes, make sure she doesn't have like one giant arm. do have a Discord. It's, you know, it's pretty chill there, but you know, it's a nice place at least to share some art. There's a critique channel if you ever want feedback on stuff. We're always happy to provide some feedback. I like to post various things that are inspiring me at the, you know, at any given time as well, in the little art inspiration channel. For anyone, you know, not faint of heart, we there's a legit not safe for work channel. As an artist that has done a couple of pieces for hardcover, if you're familiar with hardcover, yeah, I have no issues with sexually explicit stuff, as long as it's all legal and consensual. Within those stipulations, anything goes. All right, let's get some light on the, like, where her leg is kind of facing up, wrapped in the cloth. I want to get some light in there. I mean, there's a ton of rendering to do all over this still anyway, but some of this stuff, let's see. Let's cool it off a little. You know, I don't really do D&D. We have hang on. All right. Gray Angel and Vextasy, welcome. You are both sketchlings and are free to move about the server. I don't play D&D. I've done some art for them in the past. I was hugely inspired as a kid by all the artwork, but I never had any friends that played, so I didn't, you know, really get into playing at all. Now I have friends that play, but I just similar to video games, I don't have the time. I know a lot of people that that love Critical Role. I mean, my buddy Autumn, who's probably lurking, I know he likes Critical Role a lot. I've never actually watched it. But I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about it, so maybe I will at some point. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even though I know it's a good thing, I feel like because I'm really not into D&D that much, I doubt I would get around to watching it. Just in terms of like on my list of things to watch, I don't think it would rank terribly high. And like, I mean, I've never played a full D&D campaign in my life. In fact, I want to say I've sat down to play D&D twice. And it's probably been 25 years since then. I was a little more into Warhammer, but even that was mostly just because I loved painting the figures. Right. It actually had very little to do with the game. Because then once I tried to play the game, I was just like, oh my god, this is like an overly complicated chess. You know? Chess had like way the fuck more rules. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep painting the figures. That's fun. I think all that stuff was always more about the art for me than anything else. But at the same time, like, I definitely appreciate the storytelling and the world building and all that stuff that goes into it. I think it's pretty rad. And like I said, I did some art for D&D 5e. Right? Yeah, or when you're an artist that does art full-time for work, 40 hours a week, and then tries to squeeze in personal art outside of that between work and girlfriend time. Sitting down for a D&D campaign is just like, it's so far out of the realm of possibility right now. It really does. It does. That's where my rowing machine comes in handy. It makes the fitness side of things so much easier because it doesn't take a ton of time, you know. It's like between the rower and push-ups and like jumping jacks, I pretty much hit all the muscle sets and, you know, get cardio in there and stuff. Probably not as much. I'd like to do some more cardio because I know a lot of that involves like getting your heart rate up for a longer time, but you know, I can at least keep my muscles and stuff active since I don't have like, because I've never been a fan of going to the gym. I never really liked it. I think the only reason I really would go to the gym was usually for the basketball hoops and the punching bags if they had them. Let's get some of that. Some of that. No. Some of the water reflecting. I don't want to go too crazy with it though. You know, I want it to be kind of secondary, a bit more subtle. All right, Gray Angel. Hey, thanks for coming by. Glad you could hang out for a bit. And yeah, Joey the Saint, that is past time for bed. And Vextrosy, that's crazy. I love the rower. It's like, I was so happy when I finally had space for one. It's one of my favorite things because it's such a a full body workout, and I love the exercises that work multiple muscle sets. I hate isolation exercises. You know, sometimes I'll do them if I really feel like there's a particular thing that's getting neglected, but in general, I just try and I keep all my stuff to more multiple muscle set exercises. One of the reasons I love push-ups, you know. I love pull-ups too, but I do not have a frame on any of my doors, so I can't put a pull-up bar unless I wanted to get one that I screwed into the wall, which I don't really want to do. So yeah, I don't know. I've always loved the rower, and I don't know why. I will say it's nice having, because I have one of the ones that uses the water, right? So it's not the water rower company. It's not the brand name, because those things are just stupid expensive. But there are some really nice ones that are half the price, that are still made out of wood and stuff, really nicely made, and still use water in the container for resistance. So I like that, because on top of the rowing, you get the sound of the water, you know, but also I like the natural resistance where it's the harder you pull, the more resistance the water puts up, right? So it's a very much controlled. It's it's not so mechanical, and I really like that. Starting to feel nice. Of course, I still have to paint her hands, but that's a whole other thing, right? I don't know what Orange Theory is. I have no context for that. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I honestly, like, the playlist is just a bunch of stuff I pulled off of Epidemic Sound. But, you know, I like having a variety of music. I like all kinds of music. Like, I don't think there's a single genre that I don't like, you know, where that doesn't have a song that I can say, like, oh, I really love this song. So, so I like to have a playlist that kind of covers off on a lot of different things. And I just put it on shuffle and let it go. I'm gonna have to figure this water out. I'm gonna have to look at some various rivers and whatnot and see if there's any additional stuff I want to glean from them. And I'll probably also need to look at like some kind of like standing waves and stuff, because you get those in some of the rivers, and I feel like that might give me a sense of how I can treat that water kind of moving up. I mean, I know I should have some kind of little bit of the sky reflected, most likely, but I just not quite being able to figure that out. The guided group fitness gym where you have to schedule. Okay. Your trackers measure your effort, so if the trainer sees you aren't working hard enough. Oh, I see. One of those. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not a fan of personal trainers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against them. I'm not going to be like, no one needs those, because that's not true. I know we all need a little motivational help at times. So, or if you have specific things that you're trying to achieve with your workouts, right? And hopefully personal trainers can help with that. And they're also good, like, for people that are maybe newer to working out, right? And need to kind of know more about proper form and stuff. Like, that's also where it's good to have somebody to kind of show you how to do that shit right. You know? So you don't go, like, causing more damage, doing more harm than good to yourself. By the way, I am only now seeing how vaginal this water is looking. One of those things I didn't really think about at first. But I'm okay with it. You know what? It just sort of, it works. It's fine. It doesn't matter. And maybe lends a certain something to the piece. Right? It just needs a little to finish it off. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. You can get a little bit of some water lines in there to kind of like help some of that stuff sit a little further back, maybe. Get our Bob Ross on and, you know, take the side of our palette knife and just get those nice little water lines in there. Let's see. I feel like I want a little bit, some darker green just right down in there. Thank you. Yeah, I try and generally keep my stuff fairly painterly. I mean, there's still a lot more to do, and I actually want to render this out more, but even when I render it, I'm still gonna want it to feel rather painterly. So I gotta get some stuff on her hair too. I tend to focus more on like getting believable values, I think, rather than worrying about going for like photoreal, I don't know, texture, I guess, right? I prefer a painterly texture, but with like realistic values and colors. I'll get crazy with the details in some little areas, but try to kind of keep that stuff to a minimum when and where I can. Get some of that cool reflecting on the top of the hair. Raid. Yo, Kanta, what's up? Been a long time. I know I haven't been hanging out on Lee's stream for a while. Chaka, what's up, dude? How y'all doing? Kanta, what's up? What where were you doing on your stream? Hmm? Yeah, it is a water spirit. Yeah, but I believe specifically freshwater. Freshwater. So that's why I went a bit more green and rivery with this water. Yeah, so this is kind of where we've gotten today. We started with so it started, this was the thumbnail I did in my sketchbook, like just ink and white gouache, and then I kind of just threw some color on the thumbnail, and then we started painting it up today. Kanta, if you want to share what you did on your stream, you are welcome to post a link if you want to show us. And how are you? How have you been? Chaka, how are you doing? How have you been? Let's see. Oh, so is this ink? This is ink, right? This is in your sketchbook? Look at all that. Is that like pointillism, or is that just some like crazy texture? It's cool. Are you doing some like Inktober stuff? Is that the deal? Right on. Right on. Also, Kanta, I don't. I used to do Inktober, and I don't really anymore. There. Kanta, I realized I wasn't following you, so followed. Yeah, I used to do Inktober. I guess, what was it 2014, 15, 16, and 17? I know I did Inktober, like one a day kind of a thing. And then I think 18, I kind of tapered off and took it easy a little bit. And then 19, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I drawn ink so much now in my sketchbooks are all ink, so it kind of didn't really, it no longer made sense to me to like make a big deal out of Inktober, because I'm like, well, I kind of, it's like all I do in my sketchbook is ink. So like of course I don't even know what I can show, whatever is TOS friendly in my sketchbook. Let's see. We can show some at least, you know, that type of stuff. I do a lot of like fountain pen and water in my sketchbook. Let me cover that. Right. Whoa. I'm getting all confused. Yeah. So that's like, I think we did this one on stream actually. Just some India ink wash, where we're just kind of building up our orc. With some calligraphy ink. I'd actually done this on a Discord stream, I believe. And that. Some more. This, I think, was actually because the drawing of this dude had gotten a little too busy. And so I was like, oh, I'll use some white gouache to kind of kick some of that detail down. And I just loved how the gouache looked. And then I ended up doing a lot of stuff with, like that dude there was with ink and some white gouache, right? Oh, the dragon. Dragon. I do like me some dragons. There's some ink and watercolor stuff. Dragon shapes are fun. I think we did a lot of this stuff on a live stream at various times. We had to come up with a story because I drew her first and then I started drawing him and I realized she's pointing her gun right at him, which is a big no-no. And then we decided that she doesn't fully trust him and she's like, you don't move. What's going on over there? Something like that. So, yeah, random ink, random drawings from stream. Other kind of brush pen and gel pen for that. I've seen Kantha play Red Dead. Did we do this on stream? Does anyone remember? I feel like we did. Pretty sure. Oh, can't show that one. Can't show that one. Boobies. I want to say we did these thumbnails on stream, which is also why I'm not actually showing the any nips, but yeah, these turned into a whole other thing eventually. It was really fun. Yeah, these turned into Twitch. Don't mind her gold pasties. Hang on. Let me, I'll cover the other naughty bits, but then I also, from those thumbs, I kind of just got into this whole thing of like guardian demons, and then gold leaf, as you can see, like playing with gold leaf in my sketchbook. Whee! Yeah. So that stuff's fun. Not yet. I'm working on it. So I did a large version of this, which is like just over here. No, I put it away over there. That I need to prep for a print. Not TOS friendly. Oh, I just did this one the other day. Ink and gouache of Jenny Green Teeth. Jenny green teeth. That was fun. Vextasy, you have a good one. Thank you for hanging out. That one's so not TOS friendly. And TOS or not, we'll look really quickly at the, that's the thumbnail for the current piece we're working on. Okay, don't ban me, Twitch. Deal with it. Which is why we had to put the... Whoop. Where are we? Where are we at? Did you kick me off? Don't kick me off. There we are. We had to put the twipples on her. Twitch, Twitch, Twitch. We are all about the branded censorship here. All about it, so that everybody knows that Twitch is afraid of nipples. Everybody, Twitch is afraid of nipples. What are you gonna do, right? Yeah, it's funny because like I vaguely feel like when I was first streaming some years back, I didn't know that they were not okay with that stuff, and I feel like I did a couple things that would probably get me banned now, but I think I was small enough at the time, or who knows what. Nothing ever came of it, but yeah. I'm not gonna stay up much longer. Honestly, I should actually turn in because I'm trying to get my schedule back on track. For some reason, I just have been going to bed late, even though I'll get tired at my normal time. I just end up not actually sleeping till like 1 a.m. But I still have to get up for work in the morning. Shaka, you have a hard time sleeping, right? If I remember correct. I sometimes have a hard time sleeping. Or do you get a ton of sleep? I don't remember. My girlfriend loves sleeping. And it's like so easy for her to fall asleep most of the time. I'm jealous sometimes that she can fall asleep so easily. I do not fall asleep easily. Sleep on. I don't want sleep on. Go away. Oh, jeez, you're to bed at 8 a.m. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't play any copyrighted music. I definitely don't do that. I know, Kanta. With the day job, I have to stay on a sleep schedule. So at least, like, it holds me to that. But, I mean, I like where where this is going. There's something I'm feeling I might need to do something with the sky, like get a little bit of cloud play back there or something to, because right now I'm actually not liking how that band of both the plants and the clouds, I don't like those horizontals, so I'm gonna need to do something about that. Which, I mean, it might be as simple as just breaking up some of these shapes. Oh, whoops. No, gonna have to do it up front. That's okay. Like, it might be a matter of just kind of like making it so it's not so straight across. And getting I don't know, something going on here that can get a little more organic in some way. I'll definitely have to mess with it and figure that out, but it needs something. Definitely needs something. Because even just that compositionally feels so much better to me. Granted, it'll also help once I figure out what the hell kind of plants I'm putting back there. Doesn't help just putting abstract shit. It doesn't give me any shapes to play with. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll need to look up. Need to do some research, get some reference for stuff. But yeah, that to me already feels so much better not having that like perfect band moving across. So glad we did that. Painting clouds can be relaxing. After a while, I get pretty impatient though. But I'm not thinking like big billowy clouds. I feel like that would take away from the water, right? But I was thinking more kind of along the lines of like, you know, something that would lend some movement, kind of, you know, like getting some. Let's do that. Getting some clouds kind of back here to give us some perspective or something. I'm not going to do this necessarily, but I might. I'm not hating it at all. I'd have to work out the shapes a little more, but I don't hate this idea. In fact, I'm actually kind of digging it. So yeah, it's, you know, more of the cirrus clouds, right? Those high wispy ones. To give the whole thing a bit more movement. You know, I can dig it. Get our smudge tool out here to shove these things around a little bit. Nice kind of almost like wings in a way, which is pretty fun. I'm always a fan of that. Right. Had a lot of fun painting up those raven wings on Sunday for this one, which I still need some work, but I really like where it's going. I was just in the mood for something lighter today, so Bitstraws, thank you. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I should actually turn in. I should call it. I want to play whatever Twitch can deal, right? We can just like skip past the oh, there, look how quickly I got those twipples on there. But just seeing our process a bit here. I mean, overall, it started coming together pretty quick, thankfully. But she still has a ways to go for me to get the rendering right, get it to where I feel good about it. I need to find some good reference for the water. You can see we were really painting around on her skin quite a bit. But man, that helped a lot when I cooled off that foam on the water. And all of a sudden that gave me room to play with in her skin with warms and cools a lot more. So that was a good thing. And then we got the clouds. Yeah, I like those clouds. I'll have to adjust the shape of the clouds on the bottom now a little bit because it seems a little too kind of random. But they don't need much. They just need a little more sort of sense of motion, I think. But that's about it. So. Oh no, it broke. Boo. Cool. Well, all right. I gotta call it a night, my friends. Thank you for hanging out. I'm trying to think of when I'll be back. Probably not Saturday, because I'll have a bunch of stuff to do on Saturday. Maybe Sunday? We'll see. I'll have to kind of play it by ear, I think. Maybe I'll squeeze in a morning... Nah, I'm not going to squeeze in a morning stream. I'm not waking up early enough these days. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to be back on. It might actually be a full week when I think about it. Like it might not be till next Tuesday. Realistically. Yeah. I was doing morning streams for a bit, and then all of a sudden I was just having a hard time falling asleep, and then it was getting harder to wake up, you know, because I was starting streaming at like 8 a.m. So, but then I could only do like an hour and a half stream because then I had to jump into work, right? So, yeah. All right, my friends. I think it'll probably be Tuesday next week when I'm back. Unless I can manage to squeeze something in sometime between now and then, but I don't know. So until next time, I might... I don't know if I have the energy to raid right now, to be honest. I think I gotta kind of just call it. So I'm going to release y'all into the wilds of Twitch. I'm not going to raid tonight. And I will most likely see y'all in a week. Scatter! Right? 1, 2, 3, break. All right, my friends. I will see y'all in a week if I don't sneak something in sooner, or maybe we'll just like be sneaky and do like a Discord stream or something if anyone's on Discord. You can always keep an eye on the Discord. Maybe I'll just pop in while I'm waiting for feedback from work. I could always just like stream some stuff on Discord. Who knows? All right. Y'all have a good night. I hope you sleep well. And if I don't see you before Tuesday, you have a fantastic week, everybody, and a fantastic weekend. I hope you get at least one delicious cocktail in there. If you want my advice, let's see what it comes up with. A tea punch, one of my absolute favorites. Cool. That's a great one. Make yourselves a tea punch and enjoy. All right, my friends. I will see you next time. Peace. Peace, 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 peace.